Thank you so much for being with us on a musical Tuesday night. Thanks to Luke David for the amazing
professionals in the house.
intro. Yeah, when professionals are running the board, it actually sounds and looks better. Even right here, Kevin Ricka is even looking better tonight. Thanks to Luke
I've
David.
actually been 100% digitally enhanced. I'm lying on my couch in my underwear right now watching Netflix.
That's Tim Strachan, also technically in his underwear.
Things got weird right at the top.
Why?
I don't know. You said naked,
No, I didn't.
boxers.
See, that's why it's weird, because
like
you
that.
were thinking.
You took
All
it in
right.
the wrong spot.
Well, I know that you don't own boxers, so when you
I
say
didn't
you're
say
laying around in boxers, then
Never said boxers, said underwear.
We're sharing.
that is the same thing. You don't own
We're sharing on a Tuesday night.
All right, well, T-Bird, I hate
Oh,
to
my
say you're
good-
wrong again,
Oh.
but you were right.
Yep.
There's no underwear in there. I looked.
For 45 years, that's been the case.
We just signed
then I
a
tapped you on the
gifted
shoulder.
graphic
Sorry,
editor who is unfortunately going to not know what to do with that little piece of video. Want to say
He's got something to come up with. For
welcome
next week. Some underwear.
to E.O. Anderson,
Digital.
who's first in the gate tonight. James Rainey, Greg Martin, Rhett Donnelly, all of our good friends who are on the way. I'm sure they'll be on the board here momentarily. We will make sure our friends from over the pond are there. I'm Ken Marigold. This is Thank God It's Tuesday. We are, in addition to being other things, the official Washington football team podcast of Hogs Haven. Welcome, everybody from Hogs Haven, for joining us tonight. We are not QB free. I'll tell you what is free, a subscription to First Amendment Sports. Hit that button on the screen, and it helps us out, but it is not going to cost you a thing. You get a notification when we go live, not just in the studio, but on the sidelines. Appreciate your support. It does help us, and we do thank you. It's been an interesting week in D.C. sports, not just because almost nothing's happened with regard to the Washington football team. But I was wondering how this whole thing was going to play out, and it seems that one major offseason storyline is starting to come to a conclusion, and that is the Alex Smith saga. And none of us have anything bad to say about Alex Smith. I think we've all said our piece. How much we love him. I'll tell you, my top of the show thought is we were live on a Tuesday night in the basement when they announced that trade.
Yeah, that show was huge, man.
It was a big-time, fun night. We enjoyed
Other than
ourselves.
being able to break the news, we were actually one of the only on live talking
was
about
exciting,
it at the time.
man.
It was awesome.
Hogs Haven went nuts. We went nuts. Everything was, well, you know what? We were also live on air when he broke his leg.
Yeah, we were live on
Something
air,
else, yeah.
and that was not a great day. But happy to have a professional quarterback playing for our team. Happy to have, by all accounts, and nothing to suggest otherwise, that he's anything but a very, very good guy. And you want to have those guys on your team.
I think that this is more just somebody trying to make it more than what it is. And I'm not saying it's Alex. Maybe the media. I think some people are trying to push a narrative like this is a scandalous thing that they didn't want him in the building.
Well, that's why Twitter exists, but
that is true.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think there's less to it than what we're reading or hearing or seeing.
Right.
I mean, look, it's a business at the end of the day, and it's not the best business decision for the Washington football team to have him on the roster right now.
It was clear cut. We talked about it here.
Yeah.
We knew it. How about this? What a gift Alex Smith was. When we usually make those big deals that cause a huge wave, it never ends well. And, it was a little contentious at the start, just like any other D.C. quarterback. He got mauled. But, man, he made us better from the front office down after he hurt his leg, when we thought, wow, we're sitting here with this ridiculous contract. What terrible luck. Oh, my God. Woe is the Redskins. And he completely spit in the face of adversity, turned it around, and gave us such a gift. He was the football gods have been ignoring us for a long time, but they allowed that man to walk in to Ashburn, to our facility, and completely change everyone's thinking. And not just by himself, but he was a main factor. I wish him nothing but the best. He couldn't stay. We couldn't squeeze him. That gift has to. We love him, so we have to let him go.
But
That's it.
But also, if you get down to the GQ article and some
He's a
sports
competitor.
pundits out there saying, this is an abomination again on the Redskins for not having better communication. There was
homework.
no playbook for this.
No.
People don't come back from the injury he had, period. Okay, so it's not like there was this is the way it was done before. It was never done.
It was our gift.
It was amazing.
Alex Smith.
He was.
Alex Smith's leg. His butt cheeks are now part of his calf, and that was
literally.
here.
That's literally
That
the
was
thing.
it's true.
I think that if you want to look at it from a completely cold standpoint, his numbers weren't impressive when he came back. They were identical to Dwayne Haskins, and yet.
Oh, that's cold.
That is cold, but we won games.
Now that's mean, dude.
I'm just saying if you want to be
we're trying to be real positive here.
Bleary-eyed, there was something about the way he did that got us over the finish line more times than losing, and we needed him. We needed him because we ran out of quarterbacks, and it worked. But we need the $14 million next year, and we have to spend that money in other spots. And I was worried. My biggest worry was that this was going to just spiral out of control into a situation where it did become that thing you were talking about, T, where people started picking sides and people, the multiple narratives. But Ron Rivera, one thing that he's done is he's nipped things in the bud to a point where they don't become that.
But at this level, if you could get rid of the salary cap money and all that stuff, then the argument of, what he meant to the team and how wonderful it would be great to have him stay. I'd love him to stay if the money wasn't a problem. That'd be great to have a guy of his, veteran, wisdom and all that, and still be able to contribute if we needed him. That'd be great. It's not the NFL.
No, it's not fairy tale land.
No.
I mean, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. I think. I'm not sure how that goes these days, but yeah, man.
She has to tell you.
I agree with you. 100%.
But Ron's not going to make a decision because it pulls on people's heartstrings. I mean, this guy's been a great story. Let's pay him $14 million for a great story.
Right. Oh, because
let Disney do that.
Yeah, but exactly. Because that thought process is so. But whatever. People like to take shots at us, and that's fine. Hey, I have one image in my head. I just want to hear what you have to say about this. I just for some reason can't get out of my head right now. Alex Smith and Daniel Snyder walking this way. Everyone here knows it. While Bruce Allen, and then a car comes in a back of a stadium, I guess, as they're going to the team bus or limo or whatever. Bruce Allen walking this way, kind of looking back. Snyder and Alex Smith walking this way together before the Alex Smith thing, and they showed it a million times. And Alex Smith just coolly striding with his hand in his pocket, like he knew something that we didn't. And I thought it was about Bruce. No, Bruce saw a guy he just ratted on to someone else, and he wanted to make sure. And that was all about Alex going, I'm going to clean up this guy. Well, he'll be gone. This guy's going to be better because of me. And he said what's up to the security guard. Now Daniel Snyder takes him everywhere he goes and asks him everything. And he's the same cat bumping up the security guard who feels the same way about him. When was the last time we had a guy like that? When was the last time we had a guy that we signed to a big deal that worked out for us, not so much him? I mean, I'm not saying it didn't work out for him with all the stories. I'm talking about right now, him wanting to play is not working out for him.
Yep.
But damn, if he didn't work out for us.
We've had stopgap quarterbacks are going to have a job in the NFL until the NFL goes out of business. There's always going to be a place for a 30-something guy who has a history of being able to get up on Sundays and play.
Is he the best one we've had?
The best stopgap?
That's
I'll put the question to the board.
But
it depends on how you define stopgap. Because was Brad Johnson the stopgap?
I don't know. When you lose a leg, you become a stopgap.
Yeah.
He didn't come here as a stopgap, so I think those are the parameters.
Statistically, he's the best quarterback that's been on the roster in 20 years. Yeah. Maybe arguably,
winning-wise, I think he's got the third highest
McNabb
percentage.
may be the only other one that could compare numbers with.
I hated McNabb.
I don't like that.
No, I'm just talking about straight statistics, not what he did here.
Right. No, I know.
I thought
but
McNabb
best quarterbacks.
Winning, all Alex Smith.
So, question on the board is, number one, is he the best stopgap quarterback we've had in our time? Number two is, will Alex Smith start another game in the National Football League ever?
Le style bet time.
I'm not betting anymore.
Will he start another
Alex
game
Smith.
ever?
What a compliment to Alex Smith, though.
Yes.
I won't bet against that dude ever again.
No,
Nope.
Definitely not. I mean, I'm
not going to bet for him either, but
he's definitely going to start another game.
Fool me twice. Fool me three. You fool me four times, you son of a bitch.
He's going to start another game because he's going to get signed. And in today's NFL, if you suit up on Sundays, you have a pretty damn good chance of playing because that's the way it works. That's
San Fran Nation is on Kyle Shanahan to bring him in as a backup.
As a backup and mentor, of course. And they're going to draft. They could draft a Trey Lance. They could draft that's. And again, if whoever brings him in needs to get real comfy, real fast with the idea that you're going to be sending that guy out on the field at some point, I promise you. And it's better than Mark Sanchez.
If and when it goes bad, it's bad.
Dude, he could lose his other leg to be better than Sanchez. That guy's got a big blob of booty meat in it for a calf.
We got a Mark Brunell sighting on the stopgap.
Top touchdown passes in the final minute or 2 minutes. That's always going to make me think about him. And he was a stopgap.
He was a stopgap. Gibbs brought him in.
They were going to cut him.
They were going to cut him. And then, if you recall, Gibbs went down to visit him.
Extended him.
Gibbs starts choking at a restaurant, and Mark Brunell gives him the Heimlich, saves his life.
Saved him.
And then next thing you know, we're giving up a third and a fourth, and everyone's like, the Jags had like the release papers, and they were like, yeah, okay, we'll take the third and the fourth. So that happened to us. Then we did it with T.J. Duckett.
And we got the Heine Lick maneuver.
Yes, we did.
Okay, we've now erased that with the Heineke maneuver. Thanks, Dwayne. His final maneuver for the Redskins.
So we're out of the Alex Smith game.
Yes.
I think, and that's
thank you,
good.
sir.
Good luck,
Godspeed. I'll drink to that.
What a badass man!
It was awesome.
Thank you for
your
service.
And I'll tell you one thing, man. He taught me a hell of a lot about everything. That's as tough as you can possibly get. I don't care how physically tough you are. That's mental, ridiculous, and physical.
Yep.
Remember how scared we all were and the whole world was? And Aaron Donald has got this guy in a chokehold hanging on his back.
On his back.
Hey, a man's man and a tough-ass quarterbacks. That guy should have their poster on every tough quarterback
I will say,
ever.
the one part of the GQ article that I thought was the best was it was like, there I am in a game, and I got a guy on my back.
The defensive player of the year.
Only to find out later it was Aaron Darnold. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So, moving on for us, we get the money, which is huge because that salary cap space, I have a lot of faith and confidence in being spent wisely.
56.5 mil, I believe.
Yep. Again, just to take a side road down the salary cap aspect of the Alex Smith news because it's a big story in the sense that it changes our offseason trajectory in multiple ways. It opens up a roster spot in the quarterback room, which God only knows how it's going to be filled, and there's a million ways for it to be filled, and we've spent a lot of time about that. Let's put a pin in that. Go watch the last 4 weeks. We pretty much broke that down.
Or just play Twister with James Rainey and see what happens.
Or just play Twister with James Rainey.
You're going to get an answer, and it's going to be better than what we could come up with.
We get the $14 million. We add that to our pile of money, and it's almost certainly not going to be spent at the quarterback position. I can't imagine that it will be. I think it basically gives us the ability to do.
I mean, it would take up a big chunk of the.
We try to get every quarterback on the open market.
I know, but we're not getting Deshaun Watson. We didn't get Matthew Stafford.
No.
I mean, we're going to spend some money on quarterback.
Mariota's out there.
Mariota's out there.
I think that's closed, hasn't it? Didn't it know that we've
gone
after him?
That contract,
and that's kind of not now.
Oh, the Raiders have a tough contract to try and deal right now.
Yep.
They got to make some concessions on the back end. So
I thought we were off the the pedestal for that one.
Oh, I don't think we're off anything.
For Mariota?
We tried to go and get him.
Oh, I think Mariota is absolutely in play. And when I say that $14 million, it might. What I'm more saying is we've instead of it going to Alex Smith, it goes into the pile of money. Some of our money was always going to be spent on quarterback. The $14 million just gives us a little bit more ability. And again, I still think and fully believe that we got to sit back, in the cut here and watch teams jettison guys who belong in the league. That's where I want to spend my money.
It's coming. It's coming to where a huge portion of the league won't even be eligible to participate in that because of the salary cap. These veteran guys are going to be falling from teams left and right.
The NFLPA, by the way, it's an interesting story. Our guest on our previous show, Megan McTighe, who was a gifted volleyball player in the D.C. area in Maryland, and she's a business person. She could probably tell us a thing or two about this story that's out there with the National Football League Players Association essentially telling their members to collude. Now, which is a crazy story because collusion, if anyone who's watched the news for the last 4 years knows, is a thing of some kind. But at the end of the day, you're not supposed to be able to collude. But there's really nothing against these players colluding. And what the NFLPA is asking its members to do is to tell each other what teams are offering you. Again, I bring up the story because this helps us. This helps the Washington football team. We have money. Not every team's going to have money. The NFLPA is saying, hey, if whatever Seattle offers you, and tell him. So he knows.
Can we role play it real quick? Tell me.
Yes.
You call.
Isn't this what the
NBA's
NBA's
tell me what you're
done?
offered. Tell me what you just offered somebody.
Yeah, so I'm the Chicago Bears, right? And I just offered a wide receiver $15 million a year for 5 years.
We're going to price his right him at $14.9. Thanks. See ya.
The agent.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we're going to go out there and tell everyone else it's 14 and try and get 18 from these guys, but these guys. That opens up.
Oh, I know. It opens up all kinds of stuff. But what it opens up is if players start talking to each other the way that they're being asked to talk to each other, it brings us into, I believe, into the fold for like 3 or 4 more players that we may not otherwise have had a chance at because here's the thing. Bruce Allen doesn't work for us anymore. If there was anybody.
And Chase Young does.
If anybody was going to be a snake and try to work over players and lie to their faces and be just a weasel and ultimately lose us guys, it would have been him. We don't have that problem anymore. We have trustworthy folks that players can, at least they can know, they can take to the bank what they're being told by our front office, which I believe is the case right now. And again,
you get me fired up here.
Fourth most,
at least the guy that was voted the
fourth most
space
in the league. Fourth most space.
56.5, man. And if you're a corner or a linebacker, don't you want to come play behind that front seven for at least a couple years?
At least a couple years. And it is.
2 or 3 year deal.
It's going to open up 1 and 2 and 3 year deals, right? So the guys who are going to be getting the 5-year, $100 million deals, they're still going to get the 5-year, $100 million deals, right? But there's going to be all these guys, like, for example, J.J. Watt. Now, he was in no danger of not getting paid and no danger of not getting whatever he wanted. 2 years, $15 million. He probably could have gotten a longer-term deal, but a guy like him is like, you know what? I got 2 really good years. I'm going to get my $23 million guaranteed, and I'm going to go play for a team that I think – he wants to play opposite Chandler Jones, which makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be this whole slew of players right down the middle, and they're going to be getting – beat up. They're going to be beating up against each other from all these teams with limited cap space, and so the Washington football team, while we may not be interested in certain guys at 4 or 5 year deals, we have the money to give a guy the best 1 year deal or the best 2 year deal that he's going to get from anybody else, and then you have the opportunity to guarantee that money and go the Kirk Cousins route. You don't guarantee a 5-year deal, but you can guarantee a 2-year deal. You can guarantee a player most of that salary. And again, all of this helps us. And there's dominoes that are starting to fall that go our way.
The whole front office just got back from a February vacation. a much-needed one, obviously. A virtual month. We saw what happened with Alex Smith. You know what else is exciting about this 56.5 and having the fourth most amount of space is the law offices of Ronald, Marty, and Martin. Or how about Ronald, Martin, and Marty? I like to end with the Marty.
That.
Yeah,
Always
Marty.
end with the Marty.
Yeah, end with the Marty.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's right.
Ronald, Martin, and Marty set in place over a month, just kind of getting their feet in there. J.P. Finley was on earlier. He mentioned today it made a lot of sense for Ron to get to go on his first vacation. I don't know, because he freaking just beat cancer, and now he can because when the buck stops here, a guy like Ron Rivera doesn't go on vacation. But he can when you've got Martin and Marty on board. I'm so thrilled that he felt that way, that he could let operations exist there in Northern Virginia while he was somewhere else. I think that says a lot about the two guys he just brought in. Shout out. I read that today, checking out JP. Appreciate him checking us out tonight. But that's a very interesting perspective. And what the hell's about to happen starting this week and moving forward in the next 10 days? St. Patty's Day's coming. And then that's when NFL stuff comes. I mean, that's going to be
March
a big
17th.
night. Yes,
that's
sir.
it. And so we'll have a show next week on the 9th, a show on the 16th. And we'll be having a show during the official tampering, I believe. You know, the legal tampering, which is like a ridiculous
That doesn't
concept.
give either of you the right to mess around under this table. Just want that to be said.
The camera
right
is
now.
going to be panned up. We're
Thank
not
God
even going to be able to
paralyzed.
see from like here down on that night. It's legal tampering on Tuesdays.
With T. He just said it's fine.
So Rhett Donnelly wants Jameis Winston. Can we just give that a second?
I would like – listen, Rhett Donnelly is a very nice man. Jameis Winston isn't. I have nothing else to say.
Anytime you
Crab
start out
stealer.
with Rhett's a nice guy. He's the greatest guy in the world. But what he just said is complete and total.
Well, if you've just come through a culture change and there's a guy like Jameis out there, you're like,
He's
no.
He's not around.
Sorry,
the
are you allowed to do
culture guy.
that? Am I not allowed to do that? I've never done it before.
I don't know.
Rhett, that was not at you. That was at Jameis. Remember what I said earlier?
Now it's right. Now it's fine.
No, it was at
Yeah, it was at Jameis.
It was at
It
Jameis.
was at Jameis. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Not
I'm
bad.
still going to freeze frame it and put it on Rhett's wall to, maybe paste it to his front door.
Oh.
Probably.
All right. Well, I was worried about other things.
Make a nice bumper
Not
sticker.
Jameis Winston sucking on his middle finger in the middle of our stadium as Ron Rivera looks on with Martin and Marty. Thank God the three of us came together to bring this guy. Wait till he hops on the cafeteria table, Rhett. All shit's going to break loose in Tallahassee. He's so tantalizing
definitely
though
don't want
because
Jameis.
he has all the physical.
Well,
tools.
he's going to get money too.
He might get $20 million, man.
Yeah,
he might.
I'm not paying $20 million for Jameis Winston. Not even on a 1-year deal.
He's a
I'd
weirdo.
pay Alex Smith $14 million before I'd pay Jameis Winston $20. How about
I'd
that?
rather have Fitzmagic.
For how? For
Jameis.
14? I don't know what he's going to cost. I'm kind of over the Fitzmagic thing, only because
have the magic.
we have
Also,
two guys that we need to
Fitzmagic
play.
beat Jameis out, took his job already. So why would we want him?
I just like to say this, and I want to just let me clear this up about myself and the Fitzmagic thing. I saw how our sidelines and our fan base reacted to Taylor Heineke. I don't know anything about Taylor Heineke, and if you can do that again, that was pretty remarkable. But T, don't shake your head yet because what
He's
Taylor
not a
Heineke
starter in
did
this
that
league.
night. Maybe not, but we don't know that yet. I don't know if I think that, or if I think I agree with you right now, but we don't know that. All I know is this. I haven't seen our guys respond to a quarterback like that. He elevated. Chase Young sprinting down. All of a sudden when the QB's playing balls out and everyone else just goes, what the hell? And he wasn't supposed to. We haven't felt that. It was palpable. I was in the room. You were in the room. What that guy did, he created his own magic when he popped open that sixth Heineken six-pack for the whole world to watch. We have that dude, a change-up guy you bring in from the bullpen when you need a little we got that guy. We can't have two of them.
I don't believe Rhett
reason
wants
he's
Jameis
27
anyways.
years old and not in football at the time. There's a reason for that. He's not a starter in the NFL. Can he play in the NFL? Yes. Can he perform like that from time to time? Yes. I don't think he can put it together. Once he's the guy,
I know, but
and people have tape on it, and he throws one of those well-timed, lazy outs, that's going the other way, bro. And it's going away more times than it is going our way. He's just not a regular starter in the league, and that's I'm not trying to be a dick.
He is a dog, and we can release him from the backyard on whoever's messing around
out
front
backup.
anytime we want without paying him a bunch of money like Ryan Fitzpatrick, because I believe he provides the exact same thing that Fitzpatrick would provide. That's all I'm saying. That role in the QB room.
Much better arm.
Well,
much better arm.
I don't know if it's
more experience.
Not anymore. It's not a much better arm.
And more
Fitzpatrick
experience.
is a little time. I know. He's got old balls. That doesn't make him better than
Taylor Heineke is very much, in my opinion, like Sean Hill, right? Smart as hell.
I love him in
the
the
ability
league.
to play at this level, but he's not a starter.
Sean Hill never did that in a playoff
great
game.
Backup.
He played for 12 years.
Great
he never
backup
did that.
That can come in without the reps during practice because he's smart. He knows how to do it.
See, I'm not.
But he can't be the guy that's going to take.
I'm not saying Heineke is or isn't. I'm saying we don't know that yet. All you've seen him do is play balls to the wall. I'm not sure what I'm not sure how you.
He's a baller.
You're also all right. What are the odds that Alex Smith would ever play again, or Taylor Heineke could be a starter in this league?
So my track record recently has not been that great.
Here's the deal. I just wanted to end. If Fitzmagic comes to our team, I'd be like, what are we doing? It'd be like having a power forward that can't dunk, but he's a great spot-up guy, getting another one of those.
I was piling on Jameis. I don't want Jameis because if Jameis is there,
all right, let's not talk about Jameis ever again. How about that?
Right.
Damn it, Red.
Middle finger.
I don't actually think Red even wants Jameis, to be quite honest with you. Why would you?
That's what it is right now. It's just throwing out names. What do you think of this guy? What about this guy? I don't think they're really thinking about any of those
because
guys.
everyone. I think it's because everyone's available. That's really like the topic of this show tonight is the seeming availability of everybody in the league at this very moment and how it impacts us. So we focus a lot on who we want and who we would sign and who would come to us. But I want to ask you guys some questions about what moves happen around us. And thank you, Red. He did say, I don't want Jameis. I know you didn't want Jameis. I didn't mean to fire you, but you fired up Kevin and T anyways. All right, so all these moves that happen around us and how they impact us. I want to talk about Russell Wilson for a second. So Russell Wilson, going into his age, I believe 33 seasons, something like that. 33 or 34. He's got a year left before an out in a deal that goes 2 more years. Seattle's gotten a hell of a lot out of Russell Wilson. They've done very well. If they could move him to a team for a few 2 or 3 firsts, which is absurd, but let's say 2 firsts, because I think that's what they would get. Because there's teams that are that desperate. How would that impact us? And there's a very easy one right at the top. We play Seattle next year.
Yeah, that'd be huge. Do we play Carolina next year? We do.
We play the NFC South, I believe, yeah. So I think we got Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay, don't we?
Well, they're either going to have Russell Wilson or they might sneak into Houston and come out. But they ain't sneaking in after what they are about to drop off, fellas. It's going to be whoever gets those guys is going to be looking at some expansion scenarios in the next 2 years.
Washington gets, we got the Panthers, Bucks, Saints, and Falcons.
The Panthers are they're about to sell out their tighties for a quarterback. I'm talking draft capital, players. They don't give a damn. They're going to be ready.
But they're going to do it one of 2 ways. They've been linked to going all in on. Well, first of all,
everybody just like
Russell Wilson, I don't think is approved a Carolina deal.
Not Carolina. I'm talking about
Deshaun Watson.
I'm talking about if we play Carolina, they're going for a quarterback. No matter what, they're willing.
So we need Carolina to go for what I'm saying is I think they're a Justin Fields candidate. I think Carolina is the kind of team, and we've watched them clean up their salary cap in the last few weeks.
Yes, but they need a lot.
And they need a lot of money. I think that we would need it. We should start looking at teams like Carolina to make a quarterback move this year. We want as few teams like Carolina competing with us next year for the best quarterbacks in the league. But we do have Seattle at home next year. So the NFC West, which all of a sudden got a little tougher with J.J. Watt going to Arizona. Now the rumors are Deshaun Watson, has a potential, move to Arizona, although I don't buy it. They're talking about the Kyler Murray for Deshaun Watson deal to reunite Hopkins, Watts,
what did Kyle
JJ.
Murray do?
All right. If somebody really went down that rabbit hole for real.
All I'm saying is JJ's definitely there. They have an awesome defensive line. We don't have to play him. We do have to play Seattle. It'd be great not to have to play Russell Wilson.
Yes, it would.
Interestingly, we do not have the Chicago Bears. We have from that division, we have the Packers. So that's your first place schedule that we have to play. We have to play Green Bay. We got Aaron Rodgers no matter which way.
They're going to be hurting, right? I mean,
No.
they got to lose some people.
Okay, so here's your
some.
NFL shakeup move, and I'll credit Greg for giving me this one. Your NFL shakeup move that favors the Washington football team from the Green Bay Packers, who are on our schedule. Believe they just hired Joe Barry as their defensive coordinator. Now, listen, he has coached before. He's carried the title of defensive coordinator and coach before, but first of all, are there no good defensive coordinators in this league? Where the hell are?
Can I say something?
Please.
Joe Barry has an extensive sneaker collection.
Yes, he does.
He must be the funniest son of a bitch and most generous tipper and lunch purchaser.
Did he go through
He has
drive through
definitely
naked?
got. I mean, I'm telling you, he mows everyone's lawn. He has got nude pictures of everyone else. Listen. I don't think it's all his fault for the records that he had over in Detroit when they were 0-16. But if you're just not like producing wins at your position, how do you keep getting the nod over a myriad of other options? I don't get the comfortability.
There's got to be someone.
The comfortability. It's because he knows how to pour a good whiskey. He makes a good margarita. He's a fun guy to have a hot dog with. Hey,
or
and when
just
you light
don't care
one
about
up,
defense.
when you light one up, he might be the guy that makes everyone chuckle. I don't know, but he
bunless
hot
dogs.
Bunless hot dogs.
Yeah.
You just don't care about
Remember,
defense.
look, that's Joe Barry's call. I don't know how, but good luck.
He's on our schedule.
Good.
So you want to talk about what's good about the NFL moves this week that favor us? In my opinion, I do believe that the Green Bay Packers hiring Joe Barry as their defensive coordinator.
There's a big player personnel shakeup going on there, I think, with
in Green
contracts
Bay?
and stuff like
so
that.
they're going to.
I don't know enough. I just thought I heard enough.
Here's your shakeup.
Things were kind of in disarray.
Other player shakeup news. They signed the Smith brothers, Zadarius and Preston, to be their bookend pass rushers, I believe 2 seasons ago. They gave them both huge contracts. They can no longer keep them both. Everyone says they're going to be keeping Zadarius Smith, and they're going to be jettisoning Preston Smith. Now, again, I'm not here trying to tell you we're going to reunite with Preston Smith. I happen to love him as a player. He's a big boy, but we don't need Preston Smith.
No.
But he will get money from somebody in the league that will push somebody else into our lap.
That's Montez Sweat 1.0.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We've
but
re-upped.
I think that's a shakeup on our schedule that I think also favors us. They're going to put a good player on the street who's going to get paid by somebody. He's going to eat up some cap space somewhere else. That's going to help us. Deshaun Watson, if he stays in Houston, there's much ado about nothing. But if he gets moved to Carolina, and that's really where I wanted to go with this because we do have Carolina on our schedule. And, again, I don't want to be competing with the Carolina Panthers for a quarterback in the draft next year. I'd love for them to get Deshaun Watson. I don't mind playing Deshaun Watson in Carolina. That's fine by me. But, interestingly, does that necessarily mean Teddy Bridgewater goes to Houston? And it makes me ask the question, would you consider a 1 or 2 year deal for Teddy Bridgewater in this town?
I really like Teddy when he's playing somewhere else.
He's a nice guy.
Good guy to have a hot dog with. Nothing against Teddy Bridgewater. The guys, they're all studs. The guys we're talking about are all super. They have had more success than anyone we can possibly imagine. I don't want Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay.
I don't want a guy that just hands it off. That he's a stopgap.
He's a stopgap.
I mean, he's a complete stopgap.
We're looking for a third
perfect
quarterback
for
in the room kind of guy, and I'm not saying Teddy's that guy, but if Deshaun Watson goes to Carolina, I do think Teddy hits the street. I don't think we'd be his first choice. I don't think he'd be our first choice, but I guarantee you there'd be articles probably on Hawks Haven linking him to us.
Well, it's the natural progression as the circle,
Circle of life.
Teddy Bridgewater coming to Washington is definitely in that pie chart, but that's not where you measure what we're doing or where we're at. We already have a Teddy Bridgewater. We have Kyle Allen.
Yep, I understand.
You're right. We already have him. He might be slightly better or more conservative, or he may be good here where some people aren't, but he's not as good here as these guys. It's just the same dude.
Yeah, it's not a player comp. It's a generalized level of quarterbacking.
Yeah.
Here's the other Carolina Deshaun Watson shakeup aspect that we kind of touched on last week, but it bears mentioning since this is part of our show tonight. If they do make that move and get Deshaun Watson, which I'm increasingly thinking is
Deshaun cannot be there anymore.
He's got to go. He's got to go somewhere. Carolina is as good a place as any. That to me will force their hand on potentially Curtis Samuel. And that to me is a big deal. Because as much as I love Kenny Galladay, and I love Kenny Galladay, and I want Kenny Galladay, and I hate like hell the people look at me in the eye and say with a straight face they don't understand how anyone could love Kenny Galladay. I don't understand that. People. And a writer on Hawks Haven said it the other day, and I just let it slide.
As opposed to dogs.
No, one of the writers on Hawks Haven. And I was like, really? Like, first of all, that's the kind of thing you say just to be snarky. It's like, oh, I can't imagine anyone loving Kenny Galladay. I'm like, all right. I mean, I have, like, nothing to say in response because it's a ridiculous take.
Sounds like someone who doesn't like you who watches our show.
Or
that could be a lot of people.
Someone who's ex-dated Kenny Galladay.
It could be Kenny Galladay's
There's always
ex.
an angle.
Possible.
I didn't think about that. That's actually that's next level sleuthing.
Yeah, that's a tough one for that guy.
And sleuthing is hard to say.
Because I can't imagine he's doing Galladay-type shit while he's criticizing Galladay. And I'm just saying, we all know how that story ends. But
So I would love Carolina to make the move for Deshaun Watson because I do think it ties them up. I do think it makes Curtis Samuel a possibility, for more of a possibility for us. And man, more and more, I'm in love with that idea.
If they go get Deshaun Watson, they can't just leave him without a Curtis Samuel. I mean, this could go the wrong way too. But at that point,
they'll
there might
draft
not be
guy.
enough money. Yeah, exactly.
They'll
They're
have
going
to draft somebody.
Deshaun's only 25. They could do a redo. They could start right now. Well, it can't be worse than his deal in Houston, so he might say, okay, that when the desperate get desperate, I think Carolina will give Houston a whole minor league system.
Yep.
And the future picks.
And Deshaun's not making a ton, but he's still locking up $25 to $30 million.
He's got one awesome year in his contract. It's this year. I think it goes from like 25 to 41.
Yeah.
Now we're in the John Wall, Bradley Beal area. You
can't sign Curtis Samuel to that after that.
But you got to get. Yeah, you can't. You have to find the new Curtis Samuel.
Yep.
That's true.
All right, so that's Carolina. They are on our schedule. They do factor in another team that we're playing, and we're going on the road to play them is Atlanta. Now, yeah, absolutely. Take care of business. It's right over here.
The bar's over here.
The bar's over there. We're just gonna cross through. There's going to be so many good freeze frames of you from this show, Kevin. Which are going to be a lot of very exciting.
You can put a comic strip type style of screenshots.
Atlanta's one of those teams that they have arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league in Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley.
In 2015, yes, they were great.
Well,
great.
Calvin.
I know what you're
saying.
That Calvin really can play.
And Matt Ryan is clearly in the what do you call that? The over the hill
ARP
part of his career. Yeah, he's
not worth it.
I mean, he's
stage of his career.
But they're as long as they can keep him upright for another season or two. I mean, they're going to hold on to him. He's not going anywhere. He's not being linked to any deals. That's for sure. Of all the veterans, no one's going.
His contract says sorry.
Yeah, there's no one coming for Matt Ryan.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
I think
got
that's
2 more
best for
years on
both parties there.
But they're going to – I think they're a team that could be sneaky this season with with a pick. I'm not worried about them. I hope we're not competing against them for a guy like Mariota, for example, if it comes down to that. So on the other side, and a shakeup move to me that makes a lot of sense, I think Russell Wilson belongs in Vegas, personally. I think that's where he should be. I think that's where he should go.
Why do you give a crap about that?
Hold on.
You know me. I love it.
My brain doesn't say Russell Wilson in Vegas. It also didn't say Russell Wilson in Ciara. So, I don't know shit. But
I think it's Russell Wilson and John Gruden.
Fair enough, because I didn't picture just him being like, this is tremendous. Yes. Vegas. Yeah. I don't just see those guys. I see Russell Wilson going wherever he wants and being successful. I just don't see the city of Vegas.
I think Ciara gets a deal. She's going
to be at one of
she'll feature at a casino.
Oh, God,
she'll be the featured artist.
Well, somebody said all the cities he put out there was just cities Ciara wants to live at. So
yeah, Vegas was definitely one of the cities.
DC. What's she got against DC?
He could take up residence. He could be the man in Vegas.
They've eaten at the White House before.
He's from Richmond. That's his neck of the woods. She's like, nah, we're not doing that. He's like, okay.
We're not a place for him.
I mean, I'm just guessing.
I think
no, we're not. We're not. I love him.
But to me, that's what potentially shakes Mariota loose.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, it also probably shakes Derek Carr loose.
Am I a jerk to think
I don't love either of them.
Hold on. 2 firsts for Stafford we were contemplating.
Mm-hmm.
Same age as Russell Wilson-ish? 2 years younger? What is he, 32, 31? Stafford? Or is he 34?
No, Stafford's at least a year or two older than – I think he's like 33, 34.
Well,
but I understand. But
I don't mean for real. Deshaun Watson's the one I would give everything for, but we already tried that. We're not going to.
Yep.
He's perfect for us. Stafford was going to be pretty damn good.
But it was also –
Russell Wilson would be freaking just he's just not exactly Deshaun. I would
love it.
Yeah, the Rams
pipe dream.
Had to give a spoonful of sugar to help that medicine, that Jared Goff contract.
A first round is not a spoonful. That's a sugar enema with a shovel.
Yeah, yes. It was 2, right?
Yes.
2 firsts.
Yes.
So I don't know if that you can necessarily make the exact. But I mean, Russell Wilson is an MVP candidate, and if any player and coach make a lot of sense, it's Rivera and Wilson. And Scott Turner's offense. So the other so we still have another one. So the Chargers, to me, because we're playing the AFC West, so we will get Patrick Mahomes at home. I got nothing to tell you about Kansas City. They're going to be great next year. Get your popcorn ready. I mean, that would be a great win for us. We are going to have Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. I don't know what to tell you about that. It's going to be the Tom Brady show. It's coming to town.
We want Tom.
The Chargers are coming to town, which is interesting to me because I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. I loved him coming out. I love what he's done. I don't think San Diego is going to make a bunch of moves that are going to shake things up for us. But there is another AFC West team that does play a factor, I think, in our future, and that's the Denver Broncos. John Elway is forever on the prowl looking for a guy. He has Drew Lock currently. He's got just finished his second year. He didn't blow up anyone's skirt. He was hurt briefly for both of his first 2 seasons. They've said that he's not on the block, that they're not getting rid of him, but that's just words you say. If John Elway had a chance to get anybody like Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, my guess is he would do it in a heartbeat. And the reason why I say that is I like Drew Lock. I wouldn't pay a fortune for him. I think he would be a good third guy in the room because he would be in a situation where we don't have anything. He's another young guy who has athletic ability. I like the way he throws the ball.
Has he proven to be better than Kyle Kyle Allen?
No. I'm just building a room. I'm just building a room.
You're not building a room.
I'm building a room.
You're building a shelf because everyone has equal level of ceiling.
Yes.
And you're going to John Gruden this thing as you put them through camp.
But you know better than anyone.
I know.
We watched the worst of the worst.
That's also
the worst of the worst.
Causes chaos.
But it's a one. So
we need one voice from the quarterback room desperately.
But there's no one voice when you're starting off with Allen and Heineke. The one voice is Rivera and Scott Turner. The one voice is
he's going to pick one of them.
Is Terry McLaurin. That's
and
fair.
After 4 weeks, it might be the other one,
That's
which
fair.
would be an 8-week, 2-person job, but that wouldn't be in the description.
But do any of us think that even if we get a guy like Drew Lock, do any of us really believe next offseason we're not doing whatever it takes to land the guy?
By the guy, it might not be the $42 million man, but yes, I do believe that also means that we could draft someone this year in the second or third round. If you think you can get these guys that you got last year that could – if you just pulled off a Cam Curl, aren't you coming into that draft room going like – and you're the guy? Maybe it was Rivera, and Rivera goes, I got another idea. And they go, wait a minute, I don't know. And he goes, who said Cam Curl first last year? Who was that?
This guy.
Me? All right. Well, I think Kyle Trask in the second round could be our starter for 15 years. I'm not saying I think that. I'm not saying
I got no problem drafting the guy either. No problem at all.
I'm just saying there's options. There's guys. There's things that happen on draft day that make us so excited.
I'm just saying that we haven't seen all the options. I think that we haven't – all the options that will be available to us have not been made apparent yet.
This is poker for dummies right now. Beware of the Ides of April, we always say.
Yeah.
We're about a week and a half out of the Ides of March. We don't care about that. We care about St. Patty's Day. But when everyone starts lying on April 1st, it continues all the way through until draft night. Everyone just lies. We'll see what happens. But
that would be nice.
You have to be prepared.
Ooh.
That would be nice. That would be nice if you could find a diamond in the rough later on in the draft. That'd be awesome.
We have to bring that up.
I just feel like
that pipe dream.
I feel like right now the Washington football team doesn't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yep.
And that means they're going to have to try to find the guy next year. Whoever that's going to be, whatever scenario that's going to be, I don't think it's going to be the Deshaun Watson scenario because that's
right.
No
way.
Guys,
might not be that high.
Genius going on the board tonight. Genius going on the board. Now he did lead off with a stinker in the Jameis Winston comment, but then
it's just red again.
He totally redeemed himself when he said, and I mean, it's staring right there at us, guys. I mean, if you put it up there, it's staring right there at us. Our away games, bam. Washington football team is going to be in Vegas next season. The board wants to do a Vegas meetup. That could be kind of exciting. I'm just saying.
Somebody's not coming back.
This could be better than the player haters ball on the Chappelle show.
We can box most of this up.
Can you imagine everyone's intro?
Which casino? All right, that's got to be. Maybe that's next week's show. Maybe we're just planning next week for the Vegas for our Vegas show.
I could see you guys spending the entire weekend trying to find me wherever the hell I.
That could be a game. That could be a prize. You could just be like carrying a prize.
Oh, wait.
I'm not going to be looking for T all weekend. I'm either going to be with him.
But what if
or
he has
not
like a pot of
looking for
gold?
him.
What if he has like a
If I have to come find him, text me. I'm going to be either with him or not looking for. Don't look for me.
I was referencing the Hangover movies.
I know, Carlos. I know.
Not
at
the table, Carlos. Rhett, you have totally redeemed yourself, sir. Our
Good
Vegas
idea,
meetup
Rhett.
Hold on, but I will say,
can you pay for my ticket?
This board has been talking about this for years.
Yeah.
Not specific to Vegas. About like whether it be Atlanta or Carolina, but I'm just saying. That would be something. It would be a nice weekend.
It would be a super nice weekend. And I'll be honest with you, we're in Denver, and I couldn't think of a. First of all, we're in Denver and we're in Green Bay. Denver, Green Bay, and
the last football
Vegas.
game you attended in person was in Denver, was it not?
I vote
no,
Vegas,
but
Denver.
I did go to a Denver game.
I would love to go to Green Bay with not the board. like an old uncle from Green Bay who loves cream and cheese.
Ooh, nice.
I would like to spend Vegas, Denver with the board, not Wisconsin.
Denver.
That's just my 2 cents.
Vegas, Denver. Vegas obviously rules supreme, and they're going to be. I believe they're going to be absolutely begging for us
What's
to do our show
AGH
from
say?
Vegas. They'd be like, Sierra. Who's Sierra?
Vegas?
We want
Is there a
we
game
want
in
first time in
Wales?
sports. What's that?
Is there a game in Wales?
Is there a game?
Yeah. So we could all go see AGH.
That'd be great. I'd go.
Take it easy, bro. We're talking Vegas. We want him to come to Vegas. I want him to decide what he would rather.
Yeah.
That man's traveled this country. He's probably been to a few places.
He's actually the least I'd be worried about showing up.
Yeah,
We could.
He'd be
I'm
there.
furthest.
My understanding is that most of these casinos have studio setups. We can absolutely do our show from Vegas.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I mean, do you know who would? Let's just figure out who's in the studio before us before we sign any deals.
Would you use the First Amendment Sports black light to inspect before we actually start? Just saying. Maybe 1 minute too.
We're
Is
getting
that-
there.
Maybe 1 minute.
We're
Is that
definitely
Sierra spelled with a
pushing
CZ?
that minute.
CZ? That's not. Oh,
Well, let's just hope by the time we get to that part of this
Would
year.
we take in Sierra's show at the same time?
Why not?
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Awesome.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, and then
I'm sure we'll all go to a show.
I'm going to be eating and playing cards
Show.
and talking football. That's the 3 things I'm going to be doing.
Quadriplegic quotation.
And
Show.
I love seeing cards.
Well, he'll be at the craps table.
No, and I'll be at the poker table.
Okay, I'll be at the poker table. I will help him at the craps table,
If I'm
and I will get
at
the hell
the
away.
blackjack table, run.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, guys. We appreciate your time tonight. The NFL is absolutely still in a state of unrest, and I do think it for the first time in a long time, I think it favors us. I think there's a lot of ways this thing could go that would be beneficial to the Washington football team. I very much look forward to the I mean, we're talking about this is all happening within the next 7 to 14 days. So by the time we talk next Tuesday night, a couple more of these shoes will have dropped. We'll be here to talk about it on the official podcast of Hogs Haven, talking about the Washington football team. He's Tim Strachan.
It just dawned on me that as nice as it is to not be that off-season champion that we have been in the past, the one year where we want to be, we're not. The one where we would want our name to be in the discussion of something big and win in the off-season, we're not in it. It's tough.
We're going to be in it. Don't worry.
I think next year.
All right.
I think next year.
He's Kevin Ricca.
I cannot wait to get to Vegas and meet up with this crew. Let me just say this. I don't say it enough.
Rent's paying, by the way.
I used to oversay it. Well, he's going to have to buy one round for whoever shows up first. Well, it's
going to be a race.
This board is awesome. You guys are tremendous people for getting on here and spending your time with us every Tuesday and with each other. What comes out of this is what I think about all week long. I can't wait to do it every Tuesday. You guys have done this, a lot of you, for 5-6 years, man. Just thank you. Just thank you. Like the Vegas meetup thing, it's real because – a lot of you guys are my friends. It's just the way the world is now, and I'd like to be around my friends. I like to only be around fun people that I feel comfortable around, and people that I want to celebrate life with. Man, I get to do that every Tuesday, and you're saying there's a chance that we could all pull some crap off and maybe do something like that. After all of us have been sitting around for a year, not doing jack S, that's so cool, man. The board, you guys, man, you guys kill it. We were on little PA mics in our basement 5 years ago in the dark. Not that, whatever.
But we chose the
Just
dark.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, then
You know
Ken
what?
paid his electric bill the month after, and we were good. But
Hey, thanks for being a part of our squad. Thanks for being our squad. Legit. We couldn't ask for more. Grassroots style we've grown up together doing this. We kind of know each other on the board. You know how we've kind of gotten to the point where we feel so comfortable even though we've been friends. We never did this crap. These guys, they do it on a different level.
I know, and sometimes
man.
they just talk amongst themselves.
They do, and it's great.
And they're doing better than us.
I know. And you know what? But we all have a link to this. let's get after it in the next year. Let's set that bar. Let's talk about it. Let's see what happens. I know my first-round draft choice is also T's. AGH is the one sitting there waiting to take a picture of who's next.
I love it. I will be excited because next week when we talk, it will be almost, roughly speaking, between next week and the week after, almost exactly 1 year since the world just totally shut down.
It is.
Yeah. Yep. So
weird.
We will be we'll have some thoughts about that. Please bring your thoughts about that as well, not just as it applies to the Washington football team, but just in life in general. Love to hear we're all about the manner in which we have survived it, and we have survived it. So we look forward to seeing all you guys in 7 days. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. This was Thank God It's Tuesday. We are still live.
Shh. Was that? Was Sesame Street? Good, clean fun. We're doing Sesame Street jokes. Hit mute, motherfucker.